Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good. I'm excited for my guest today, Zdenek. He's the author of Master Your Cash Flow. It's multiple different books, I believe, but we're going to be talking with him about his books and the program and all that fun stuff. So that's coming up later in the program. And I got to tell you, a little preview for next week. I'm so excited. I've got Don McLean on the show. Now, I've always said Don McLean, but it's Don McLean.
Right.
Bye, Miss American Pie. He's on next Wednesday. I just felt
That's
like we
cool.
should pre-promote that. I'm so excited about that one. And we got some other great guests. We've got some fun Movie Star Monday stuff next week. A lot of fun things all on the way. But first, our quote for today, Robert Kiyosaki. He's also an author. He's got some great books. I've actually read some of his books. In the real world, the smartest people are people who make mistakes and learn. In school, the smartest people don't make mistakes. In the real world, though, Heidi, you know what? I've made mistakes. I've learned from those mistakes. Mm-hmm. And then I've made other mistakes.
Yep.
All right. This has been a nice little quote for the day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, April the 6th, 2018, for those of you that didn't know what year it was. You ever notice that, like in like time travel movies? I just watched one, and they had to ask what year it is. When's the last time somebody said, what year is it? You know, you just nobody ever asked that.
Nobody ever asks
That's
me
why
that.
we usually don't say. If you didn't know it was 2018, well, I don't know what you've been up to, but welcome back. Today is National Caramel Popcorn Day, National Sorry Charlie Day. Guess who we get to call? We have to call, well, not Charlie, because it's not Tuesday.
No, it's not Tuesday.
Every
We
Tuesday
can't
we
call
call
him.
him. But it's Sorry Charlie Day. Shouldn't we come up with something for him? I don't know. National Student Athlete Day, National Tartan Day. What is tartan? Do you know what that is? Tartan. And National Teflon Day. So a lot of stuff. My favorite, National Sorry Charlie Day. Going to think of some way to reach out to Charlie, and even if we don't do it on the air, got to do something today.
Alrighty.
It's a special day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs, but first, another study now. This one says cell phones are bad for you. It says a study conducted by a company in North Carolina found cell phone radiation caused cancer in mice in their experiment. Now, we just had one not too long ago that said they did all kinds of tests and it didn't cause any problems. I don't know who to believe anymore.
It doesn't matter.
I think
if you're
that
going
when
to get cancer, you're going to get cancer.
Well, I think when it comes right down to it, there are some people that are looking for specific things, and there are other people that are not. So, you know, I don't know if I believe studies anymore. I just kind of feel like, and I've had people call me, and I know this is different, but I've had it where they're doing a survey, and they'll ask me like one leading question. They'll say, do you have 10 minutes for a survey? Yeah, and then they'll ask a leading question, and I answer it, quote unquote, wrong, and then they're done.
They're
and I'm like,
thank
wait
you
a
for your
minute.
time.
Wait a minute, I thought it was going to take 10 minutes. Did you think I was going to have a really long no?
Yeah,
I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, we've got your brain on drugs coming up.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. 26-year-old Dustin Waite of New York was arrested on Saturday after he allegedly broke into a New York home urinated on the porch, and was found with beef jerky that was stolen from a nearby 7-Eleven. Police were called to a Randolph home Saturday. I think this is from a couple weeks ago. A lot of these brain on drug stories, Heidi, I've got so many stacked up. This is maybe even from a month ago. This happened whenever it happened. It says here, before the cops arrived at the scene, a series of bizarre incidents played out. He allegedly entered the home without permission, refused to leave when asked to leave, and then it says when they eventually locked him out of the house, he broke a window and began urinating on the porch. I'm not sure what was going on there. He resisted arrest. Police searched Waite and found beef jerky that was stolen from a 7-Eleven, and he was charged with criminal trespass, criminal mischief, petty larceny, and resisting arrest. He was taken into custody. And he was it says here, was very intoxicated. So that explains why he was not thinking clearly.
There you go.
It's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Matt Lauer is in the news again. It was NBC, right?
I don't know what channel
I think
was on.
it was.
I never really watched it.
That time of day, we're just not watching TV. But I think it was NBC. Former NBC, would you call that newsman? What did he
Anchorman?
do? Anchorman. There you go, for the whatever show.
Anyway.
He's selling his New York City apartment that he was in when he got fired. So he's no longer needing that, so he's moving on.
Yeah, well,
so
yeah.
I wonder how much that is. There was a link to the story, and then I deleted it because I was thinking, I'm really not in the market for an apartment, so I don't need it. Others might have wanted to know. Hollywood sources say Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan Tatum separated because they were spending too much time apart due to the pressures of work. So that's what they call that. So that's really sad. I think that's really sad. Think about how hard that would be, though, because if you're off filming movies and you're with other people that time, especially if in these movies that you're like have a love interest in the movie, I think that would be really difficult.
That would be tough on a marriage.
That is the reason I'm not a Hollywood actor,
that
movie
is the
star.
only reason.
Yeah, that. I'm not a leading man in Hollywood for that very reason.
We have to turn them away.
Every time
daily.
they've asked, I say no. They've never asked. My work schedule just doesn't allow for me to be. Pretty sure that's why. All right. Big screen, little screen brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now your scoop of the day, courtesy of FirstCupIsFree.com. With April being Stress Awareness Month, Americans' stress levels have risen since 2016, and there's a company called Wallet Hub. They do all kinds of reports. I don't know if they do the reports, but they post them, and they send them to me, and I share them with you when I don't delete them. Most of the time I delete them, but I kept this one because I thought it was interesting. To determine the states with the highest stress level, Wallet Hub compared all 50 states and the District of Columbia across 38 key metrics. The data set ranges from average hours worked per week to personal bankruptcy rate in that state to share of adults getting adequate sleep. So what state do you think is the most stressed state, Heidi? The state that is stressed the most. If you were going to guess out of 50 states, who do you think is the most stressed state according to this? Washington D.C. No, it is not.
And that's a district, I guess.
But
that's not a state.
It was in the list though. The most stressed state according to this, which is hard for me to say for some reason, Louisiana.
Oh.
I would have never ever guessed Louisiana. I don't know why that's such a stressful state.
I don't know.
What state do you think is the least stressed state? Again,
Hawaii.
That's really hard for me to say. The least stressed state is not Hawaii. Would you be surprised if I told you the least stressed, it's so hard to say, state is Minnesota?
No way.
Yes, I'm not even kidding you. The least stressed state, Minnesota. And I've got a couple others on the list. I'll actually just share the whole list online because if we go through this whole darn thing, it's going to take the rest of the program. And we don't. Do you want me to tell you like the top three on each?
Sure.
We'll do that. The most stressed state, Louisiana. Number 2, New Mexico. Number 3, West Virginia. Now, the least stressed state, Minnesota. Second least stressed state, North Dakota. Third least stressed state is Utah. So there you go. Kind of a little insight. And if you want to see the whole thing, I've got a link to the whole darn thing on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. That has already taken half of our scoop of the day.
All right.
And I can barely even say the most stressed state. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Apple CEO Tim Cook are in a war of words over Facebook's recent data sharing scandals. I guess those two are not too thrilled with each other right now. Can you imagine if there was a big fight between Apple and Facebook? Imagine if Apple made it so you couldn't get on Facebook on any of their devices.
That would be amazing.
I'm just saying, do you think that would hurt Facebook or do you think that would hurt Apple? Who would it hurt more? Because if you're addicted to Facebook, you'd say, well, I'm not going to get an Apple product. But if you're an Apple fan and you say, I like Apple so much, I'm going to just not use Facebook anymore. So it would be interesting to see.
Yeah,
it's not to that point yet.
It would be interesting.
But those two are having some, as they say here, war of words. A survey by Nielsen Report, and I had to look to see if that was a thing. I thought it was just misspelled Nielsen, but apparently there is a thing. They found credit card spending surged by 9.4% in the United States last year. I wonder why that is.
Consumer confidence has gone up.
You think that? Here's what it is for me. I have not had a credit card for 8 years?
Right.
And then I found out that not using your credit affects your credit.
Right.
So I was
Which
like,
is
well,
crap.
I don't think it doesn't make any sense. But so we both got credit cards last year. We use them and then pay them off and use them and pay them off. So I think maybe we contributed a little bit. A Pittsburgh woman who turned 107 over the weekend credited her big long life to never drinking or smoking. So she says,
well, you know what? How many of the others that are over 100 have said, I do a shot of wild turkey every day?
Exactly. And I remember I used to live next door to, he was the first Caucasian man born in the state of South Dakota. When I grew up, he was my neighbor.
Okay.
And he was born in the 1800s. And kids, I'm not that old, but he was. He was 106, I think, when he died. And he would sit on his front porch drinking Jack Daniels out of the bottle. And and smoking. He was 106. So this lady is 107, and she's saying, I think it's cool, and I'm glad she lived a clean life. I hope she's happy. That's really neat. But I just think it's amazing how, different things, different strokes for different folks.
That's absolutely right.
There you go. That's going to do it. We didn't get to a whole lot today because I had one story that took most of it, but this has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. One of the things that causes big problems in a marriage is finances. People get in all kinds of arguments and fights over money. And our guest today is going to kind of give us some ideas on how to hopefully make that not happen as much. We have Al Zdenek joining us. He is the author of the book, Master Your Cash Flow, The Key to Grow and Retain Wealth. And he's got an upcoming book from the same series, Master Your Cash Flow, The Key to Growing a Valuable Business. Al, thank you for joining us today.
John, it's been a pleasure.
Now, that's one of the big arguments people have in marriages. That's where, usually when there's a fight or there's an issue, it almost always stems back to money. And this is something that is a major problem. But you've got some ideas on how to help make that not such a big problem, don't you?
Yeah, and I agree with it. Money is the root of a lot of arguments in a marriage, not only in the beginning, but throughout it. And, some of the ways to possibly get around that is to, I like to have people meet on money once a month, but sometimes they find it hard to do. But the one thing what you want to do is you want to meet around your spending once a month, and you want to respect the other party. Listen to them. If there's a reason why something's been spent or not, both just understand that the other person on the other side of you may not be the same. And this may be why, you were attracted to them in the first place. So just listen and and be respectful.
And I like the idea of talking about it often, setting a schedule and saying, whether it's time that you're paying the bills or for whatever reason you set that time once a month. I think that's a really, really good plan. And another thing I see in the info here, it says discuss the hard numbers. So what are the hard numbers?
The hard numbers normally are, when people are charging or there's things that come up that surprise the other person. The one thing you want to avoid is surprises. Most spouses, when they're sitting down and talking about spending, and if it's within what they expect, it's fine. Those surprises, those become the hard things. Like one has charged up a credit card too much, it surprises the other person. Or all of a sudden they're getting notices because maybe something has not been paid. You don't want those surprises. Those are the hard things to have to discuss.
And then I also see on here it says, remember, it's we, not I. And what does that mean when it comes to this? We, not I.
Well, we, not I. A husband and wife or a couple, it's a team. If you're going to approach it like I did this or I'm doing this or I'm hurt or whatever, it's not a really healthy way to have a conversation. You're a team. We need to do this. It's for our good. So you don't want that. Again, the old saying, "There's no I in team." You're a couple. You're facing things together. Couples that discuss things, face things together, can face almost anything, whether it's money or any other issue in their marriage.
I think this conversation could actually save marriages, and I know there are many people out there right now that are in a marriage where they're struggling because of an issue that has to do with finances. Is it too late, do you think, for someone that's already having these issues, or can they start today and say, hey, let's talk about this on a regular basis and let's make this problem go away?
It's never too late. If you're basically, if you have a marriage is more than just money issues. There's other facets of it. And, if you've gotten by other things, because marriages have their ups and downs, spending or money is just one of them. I think that the best way to approach it is if you have a marriage that it's important for you, if you're committed to it, be committed to basically trying to take some steps, even though they're small, to talk about money issues. Meet once a month on it. Respect the other person. Understand that they are different than you. And then I like one thing, especially if you're meeting about money at the end of the meeting, acknowledge the other person. Find something to acknowledge them for that last month around spending or anything that closes that meeting on a high for both of you, showing that you both care.
That's a great idea. Al, thank you so much for taking some time to visit with us today.
John, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on the show.
Again, Al Zdenek, and he is the author of Master Your Cash Flow, The Key to Grow and Retain Wealth, and he's also the author of an upcoming book that's coming out later this year, Master Your Cash Flow, The Key to Grow a Valuable Business. I've got a link to find these online at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A Category 3 hurricane releases more energy in 10 minutes than all the world's nuclear weapons combined.
Wow.
It's a lot of energy.
That is.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There's enough fuel in full jumbo jet tanks to drive an average car 4 times around the world.
Whoa.
That's how much jet fuel is in just one tank in one jumbo jet. 4 times around the world in an average car. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
This is really sad, and I'm kind of confused as to how it happens, but an average of 100 people choke to death on ballpoint pens every year.
Oh, wow.
What are you doing with a ballpoint pen where you would choke on it to death?
I don't know. Walk in through the office and fall down. It gets jammed down your throat.
I just don't understand. That sounds like foul play to me. I'm not going to try it, so if something happens, blame Heidi. It's been a couple of fun facts, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day. And our word for today, Heidi, is cerebratanik. See, these are the ones that people laugh at. Cerebratanik. Cerebratanik.
Okay. Which means what?
Cerebrotonic. Cerebratanik. It is an adjective designating a personality type characterized as intellectual, introverted, and emotionally restrained. Yeah, that's me. I'm none of those. Also relating to or resembling a personality type characterized by shyness, introspection, and emotional restraint, often associated with an ectomorphic physique. What is that?
I don't know.
Noun.
Isn't that something to do with Ghostbusters?
I don't know. Could be. That's ectoplasm, I think. A person or personality characterized by shyness, introspection, and emotional restraint. So, again, probably not me. But it is Latin from the same as cerebrum, also known as brain, and then tonic.
I can be that way.
No.
Yes, I can.
Okay, if people don't know you, you're kind of quiet and shy around it. But once you get to know people, quiet and shy is not the way to respond, or not the way to describe you. Anybody listening right now would not describe you as quiet and shy. So, cerebratonic.
I didn't say I am. I said I can be. Very much so.
Cerebratonic. Heidi is cerebratonic. So, grandiloquent word of the day.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now some weird news courtesy of 49bydesign.com. 20-year-old Gage L. Fisher, Casper, Wyoming, arrested after he allegedly threw a hot burrito at his younger sister, resulting in a burn on her left arm.
Ow.
The mother of both Fisher and the victim told a police officer the two siblings had gotten into a squabble about a cup. Fisher thought his younger sister had taken the cup from which he had been drinking.
How old was he?
The mother
Does it
told
say?
Fisher he's 20.
Oh, okay.
The mother told Fisher to leave the house in order to defuse the situation. However, Fisher became angry at his mother for taking his sister's side in the matter, and he threw a hot burrito at her. It had just been removed from the microwave. That's how hot it was. The burrito hit her arm and caused a burn. Officer photographed the girl's left arm and saw a red mark consistent with something like a hot burrito striking her. What? You can't make this stuff up.
This is ridiculous.
Gage L. Fisher was booked into jail on a recommendation of charges of assault. I've got a link to that story, which is just ridiculous.
I have always loved the name Gage.
Gage is a good name, but this guy is probably not the role model that you're looking
No.
for. All right. Coming up, we've got your moment of duh. Now your moment of duh. Two Florida teenagers, age 13, Miguel Garcia, and 14, Rogelio Sebastian. I don't know why they would put the kids' names in there. Don't they usually not put the names when they're underage?
I don't know.
They faced grand theft charges after they attempted to steal a pizza delivery guy's car. You know why they didn't steal it? They attempted to.
It was a stick.
Exactly. Did you read this already?
No, but that happens all the time.
So these kids, 13 and 14, planned on stealing this car. So guys up at the door delivering, they jump in the car and try to take off. And he said, when they tell me that, I hear my car in the driveway make a big noise. He went to the home. They said, we didn't order a pizza. Well, these kids had called. This was the plan all along. They go to he goes to the door, and then, anyway, he hears his car making a big noise. It was them grinding the gears.
Wow.
They couldn't get it into first gear. They can't drive. He said the kids couldn't figure out the transmission. They took off running. They jumped out, left it in neutral, by the way, so he had to catch his car. Deputies reported they found drug paraphernalia on the 14-year-old as well. So
wow.
This could have been my brain on drug story, but the reason I didn't do that is I have a backlog of about 4 weeks worth right now. So I just said I'm using this for the moment of dub because I think that's, I don't know, it's kind of funny that they couldn't steal a car because they don't know how to drive a stick shift.
That happens a lot.
That is the new theft deterrent. Just get a stick shift. Nobody can drive it.
Yep.
Not even you.
It's true.
So I know how to drive one, and I've taught both of our kids how to drive one.
I learned in driver's ed, but I haven't driven one since.
All right. Coming up, we got something special. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough, available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
All right, today is National Sorry Charlie Day, so we're going to make a special phone call. Every Tuesday, we call my father-in-law for a little thing called Tuesdays with Charlie, so we're going to call him right now.
Hello?
Hey!
Is Charlie there?
This is him.
Hey, you know what today is, Charlie?
It's Tuesday.
No, it's not. That is the only time
You're
we call
just confused because we're calling you.
Why are you guys calling? It's today is National Sorry Charlie Day, so we just thought we'd call and say sorry it's not Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah. I also wanted to share a story with you. I was just talking to a listener that works at a car dealership on Tuesday. He was in the dealership, and everybody was kind of huddled over in a corner, and they were all laughing, and he was trying to figure out what was going on, so he walked over there, and they were listening to Tuesdays with Charlie, and when he came over to see what was going on, they shushed him. They said, "Quiet, it's Tuesdays with Charlie."
That's pretty neat.
That is neat.
I got 1 or 2 followers.
Not the two of us, but there's some people out there that... Well, it was good talking to you.
Okay, I'm going to watch Big Bang Theory here pretty quick.
Nice.
Okay.
You have fun.
Don't call me then.
Okay, we won't. Again, it's National Sorry Charlie Day, so that's my father-in-law, Charlie. You can hear him every Tuesday on Tuesdays with Charlie right here on The John and Heidi Show. This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think we got some good news, Heidi. Our good news comes your way courtesy of Odiva, the monthly subscription service for ladies' monthly visitor. All the details available at radiosavings.com. This is a really cool idea. There are a lot of people, when they ride a bicycle, they won't wear a helmet because they don't like how they look.
Right.
So there's actually a company, and I don't know if it's this kid here, because in the photo it's a kid. These ordinary hats are actually bicycle helmets that could save thousands of lives. A couple of college students came up with this, so I don't know if it's the kid in the picture there or not. They're revolutionizing the way bicyclists stay safe on the roads. I can't talk today.
Okay.
I'm glad this is our last
This is
break.
actually a good idea. This is something that is needed.
David Hall and Jordan Klein are the masterminds behind the Park and Diamond helmet, a piece of headwear that is as thin and stylish as a baseball cap or a beanie, but as durable as a traditional bike helmet. Its versatility means that it can easily be folded up and stored or stuffed in a bag or even into a bike's water bottle holder. So it's, you can crumple it up. But what's interesting is when, they're Virginia Tech students. They presented this helmet as a TechCrunch Disrupt Conference entrepreneur project last year. And it's a huge, huge success. And they're going to go on sale this summer. The headwear is available as a baseball cap or a beanie. And it's soft, but like when there's a hard impact, it stiffens up.
That's amazing.
So it's really cool. It's a neat idea. So they say the thing that's nice about this is usually, like, again, if you're traveling, if you're riding your bicycle to work, where do you put your helmet?
Right.
So then people go, well, I don't want my helmet laying around, so then I just won't wear one. So the nice thing about
and a lot
this,
of people won't wear them because they don't like the way they look. If they can get one that looks like a baseball cap, that's awesome.
It's a really neat idea. I've got a link to the story, all the details on our Facebook page, but I thought this was really cool. So thanks for sharing that. And again, I don't know if this kid right here in the picture is one of the boys, but they have a picture.
That's awesome.
It doesn't say.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. So again, I've got a link to that and more good news. If you're looking for other good news, we got a lot of good news on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.